using the Zoom application. It's been a little challenging, but we're here. And it's in keeping with the mitigation measures related to the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. In keeping with the social distancing, we're all more than 6 feet apart tonight. So this is not going to be our regular standard meeting procedure tonight. It's going to be more of an abbreviated meeting adjusting to the emergency situation that we currently find ourselves in. We will be following the agenda, but if there's some things that we may go through faster than normal, if you need materials, they will be posted on our website, or if you need copies of anything, you can go ahead and request them from our staff. So we are adjusting to this new system of video streaming, so please be patient with us. Okay, today is April 7th, and we're starting our meeting at about 6:15 p.m. And as far as roll call is concerned, I'd just like to report that all 5 council members are present via video conferencing. We're going to go ahead and move on to the approval of the agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
So moved.
Second.
I'm sorry, who made the motion?
I did.
Sam?
Sam.
And who seconded?
George, second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. Under public appearances or comments, we did ask our community if they wanted anything on public comments. They could submit them in writing, and we did get a couple of requests. So I will go ahead and cover those at this time. We did get a request from the Brawley Chamber of Commerce. They submitted a letter that they wanted us to share with the community. And I will just summarize the highlights of the letter, and then the letter will be available on our website and also on the hub on our Brawley hub at Brawley EOC on Facebook. In the letter, the CEO, Katie Luna, has requested that we share that their offices are closed, but they can be contacted by phone, email, or any other social media platforms. She also wanted to announce that they have formed an Imperial Valley Business Recovery Task Force with the Brawley Chamber leading the effort. There's a lot of local partners involved, and they are looking to assist the local businesses with securing funds and any other way that they can during this emergency period that the businesses are having all these challenges. You can find more information by visiting their website at www.ivbizrecovery.com, or you can call the Brawley Chamber of Commerce office. And as I stated, this particular letter will be on file for additional information. The letter was submitted by Katie Luna, CEO of the Brawley Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. Thank you, Katie. We're willing to support our Brawley Chamber and all the chambers in the community in any way that we can help. Another public comment that was submitted by Mr. John Sample, also known as Johnny Wheels Gardens. He wanted us to be aware that he's concerned about the dead trees in the city and that they should be removed by 2020, or in this year. The fire that we recently had last week has prompted him to ask us to make that a priority. He also wants us to establish, or requesting that we establish, a Save a Tree campaign with teaching the youth 1st through 8 and 9 through 12 about saving the trees. And he's also asking to replace trees with the money from CAL FIRE funds. He is looking to, he's indicating that our health and well-being is in the hands of our city council. And Mr. Sample, we assure you that we will work with you and with any other citizens interested in ensuring that our trees survive and that we do everything we can for our parks. Thank you, Mr. Sample. Okay, so that's moving on from public comments. We also have a proclamation designating April 2020 as Autism Awareness Month and April 2nd as World Autism Awareness Day in the city of Brawley. I'm not going to read the proclamation at this time, but I do want to share that the city is very interested in supporting this organization. And we know that the autism is something that's a serious concern for everybody in the community. And it's especially challenging right now with the COVID-19. So we will prepare the proclamation with my signature, and we will be presenting that proclamation to the autism organization. So moving on to item number 3, consent agenda. I'd like a motion to review and approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Okay,
Second it.
is that Donnie?
Yes.
And who seconded? I'm sorry.
I
Luke?
did.
Luke?
Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay. Any opposed or abstentions? The motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving on to regular business. This discussion and potential action to adopt resolution number 2020. This resolution is declaring an emergency, ratifying action taken by the city manager and approving emergency repair replacement of pumps at sewer lift station number 1 on 9th Street and Malin Avenue by Environmental Water Solutions USA in the amount of $67,368.49 plus a 20% contingency based on field conditions.
Ms. Mayor, I'd make a motion to approve the item.
Thank you.
I'd second it.
Sam? Okay.
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to item 4B, discussion and potential action to approve the repair of the Brawley Fire Department ladder truck and adopt resolution number 2020. Resolution of the City Council of the City of Brawley amending the fiscal year 2019-2020 City of Brawley budget for the fire department in the amount of $47,683.39. And that comes from our general fund.
Make a motion to approve the item.
Okay, George?
From
And
Second it.
Councilmember Donnie. Second.
Donnie, second. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. Item 4C, discussion and potential action emergency replacement of 3 failing air conditioning units at the Brawley Police Department. Adopt resolution 2020, resolution of the City Council, City of Brawley, declaring an emergency, ratifying action taken by the city manager to award a contract to Desert Air Conditioning in the amount of $31,710. And that, I'm sorry, and that budget is from fiscal year 2019-2020 City of Brawley budget for the police department coming from general fund.
And Mayor Kestner Howdigi, if I may note
Yes.
for the council, that the item as presented is proposing use of the general fund reserve. Earlier today, our finance department and police chief initiated contact with a federal agency that may be able to assist with an approval for use of special funds. So knowing exactly how difficult it is to preserve our general fund reserve, we want to be sure we're exhausting all other options. So the item as presented is shown as a general fund reserve expenditure, but if we do obtain the approval from a federal partner, we will not be using the funds from the general fund reserve.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Rosanna.
I make a motion to approve items C, 1, and 2.
Second.
George
Yes,
and Sam?
Yes.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you. The motion carries. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item number 5 on our agenda is informational reports. These are reports that are regular items on our agenda, and I don't see any need to really review those at this time. They are part of the packet. And the also item number 6, which is a monthly staff report for April 2020. They are in your backup. Unless one of you has a specific question, we'll go ahead and move on. Is everybody okay with moving on with those 2 items?
Yes.
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 Okay, thank you. Okay, then the next item, we do need a report. It's an update on the emergency construction project at the Brawley water treatment plant to replace components of 2 sedimentation basins by Public Works Director Guillermo Cias. Guillermo, are you available? Are you there?
He's right there.
Guillermo is there.
Okay, let me inform you that the emergency continues. Last week, the contractor completed the electrical connection of the motors and tested the system. This week, contractor is scheduled to connect a limit switch, which is a protection system that will enable the SCADA system to stop the mechanism if there is a problem with the components getting stuck. Currently, if the system gets stuck, the shear pin will break and the chains will no longer move. However, the motors and sprockets will continue rotating. Contractor canceled yesterday's conference call due to his parents and grandmother have COVID-19 and they are in the hospital. Any questions? I know that probably the explanation is not very clear, but what it is that imagine a big box made of concrete where the water is being settling and the sediment is being removed from there to clear the water. And there's some components made of gears, motors, and chains that drag metal pieces along the bottom of the basin to remove the mud. And that is basically what is being replaced. And what happened is that if during several cycles, these chains are moving along the basin and there's a little misalignment in some cycles, I don't know, 5, 10, 20 cycles, that deviation can lead to get stuck the components. So this limit switch that needs to be installed is to prevent that happening.
So when do you anticipate that we'll be able to have that project completed?
It is a very good question because the contractor is working on the first basin, and this week he did not return to work. So we are waiting for him to let us know when they are coming back to do this safety device installation to continue with the testing of the first basin. But right now, we couldn't talk to him yesterday due to he's stuck in the hospital dealing with his parents.
Okay, so do we have any concern of it waiting until he's able, unless they send somebody in his place, or?
I would say so. The situation with this particular contractor is that the owner, it is in charge of pretty much everything. I'm sure that he has superintendents and foremen, but we are talking to him directly. If you call the company, he answers the phone. So I would say that in a few days, he will be able to continue to complete the basin.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Guillermo. Does anybody else have any questions of Guillermo? Okay, thank you, Guillermo, for the update. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move on to the city council member reports. And we'll go ahead and start with Council Member Couchman.
Okay. Not too much to report, only simply that we're in unusual times. And I think everybody's out there kind of struggling with everything that we're trying to do and trying to make things work. I encourage people to support Brawley business. As you know, they're in a rough spot. The restaurants and other businesses around town. I happened to be looking where the fire was. Also, I would like to commend all the people that helped us and all the Brawley public safety people and everybody that was involved in parks. I think Public Works, everybody was involved, and I think they did a good job. I happened to be at an observation point where I could see where it had initially started and how it moved down the river. And I thought it was a very interesting thing to view and how the response was and everything that went on from there. I'd like to commend the county for having their people there, and also the county CEO was with me on that bluff watching the fire at that time in communication with county people at the fire department and all the public safety people. So I'd like to commend them for their response. And I thought everybody did a great job. And the flights that came over with the actual fire retardant that was dropped, I was able to view that also. And I thought everybody did a great job on that. I'd like to commend everybody on that. It's a rough spot. The wind was blowing very strong. So with that, that's my report. I'd like to say everybody keep safe. I think they're requiring now that we're starting to wear masks now. So if you do, there's a lot of things on the internet about producing a mask on your own. And there are simple ways to do that. So you need to kind of look at those. There's ways to do that with a variety of different materials. So I hope everyone stays safe and everybody does fine for the next couple of weeks. And that's it.
Thank you. Councilman Nava?
I just want to thank everybody for the work that they did during the recent fire that we had right outside of Brawley. It was a coordinated effort with County Fire, City of Brawley, and so many other agencies. So thank you all very much for helping during that time. Of course, we're going through a very, very unusual time in our country, in our city. I know it's been really challenging for businesses and for people in general. So I just want to offer any advice that I could provide, whether it's in housing or in business. I know I've helped many people that have come to me in that respect. And if there's anything that I can offer to help even direct them to obtaining some disaster funding or whatever it is, I certainly will help all I can. There's just a whole lot going on within our community, and we're just a very small part of it. There's so many issues nationwide, but if we can just support one another, help one another as we go through this. And I do encourage everybody to please stay home. Obviously social distancing is very, very important. There's still a lot of people out and about. I know Sam, Councilmember Couchman, has just mentioned that, there is the suggestion to wear masks outside. I encourage everybody to do that just to limit exposure. The case count is going up. It's over 70 people that are affected here in Imperial County. There's 3 fatalities from it. So those numbers are in line with what's been posted nationally and worldwide with respect to, about a 4% or even higher rate of fatalities. So, please just do what you can to protect yourselves, your loved ones. And I just want to let everybody know that we're here to support you. And certainly we're going to continue to post video to help some of the challenges that you're facing, whether it's in business or as you're seeking assistance in other ways. So thank you all very much. Thank certainly the staff of the City of Brawley, and just want to thank you all very much for helping each other out through this very, very difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Nava. Councilman Wharton?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And I also really am just going to echo a lot of what was shared by council, beginning with obviously acknowledging what was really very close to a few of us council members living in the subdivision or part of town that was definitely under threat from the fire. So just a huge thanks to all the agencies, and on behalf of the city, on behalf of my fellow council members, but certainly on behalf of our neighborhood and our families, we're very concerned. And with that, needless to say, it really brings up kind of a broader picture of all of our city officials, all of our city employees, all of our public employees, healthcare workers, care providers, right here in our own neighborhood that are taking care of our citizens taking care of our family members. I really want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I know, again, I'm echoing really largely what this council feels, that we're very fortunate to have the professionals and the people that we have within our community. And in a time like this, I couldn't be more grateful really to be part of our city and I'm part of the response. I also want to thank our citizens that are following the guidelines and that are looking out for one another. I would encourage you, you're going to hear it repeatedly from us, but please follow the guidelines. That is the quickest way that we are going to get ourselves through this pandemic. You are starting to see results. I'm not one here to kind of broadcast any kind of false hope, but certainly there are clear indicators around the country that if we continue to follow the guidance, that is going to be the quickest way through this. We are certainly a country and we're certainly a community here in Imperial County that has all of the ability in the world to recover quickly. So I certainly echo everything that the council shared, and I want to thank our staff and Rosanna helping and Armando and all of our staff leaders that help to accommodate this meeting as well. I know this is different, but you know what? I appreciate my fellow council members that are talking to many members of this community, and we will continue and stay committed to getting information out to our citizens. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Councilman Horton. Mayor Pro Tem Hamby?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As everyone has said, we've been getting a lot of calls from community members, questions about what businesses are supposed to be open, what are supposed to be closed, and just a lot of concern about people and their livelihoods. So I've certainly been saying prayers for our community and for our country because it's a very difficult time. The word of the year is unprecedented, and as the other council members have said, this fire this weekend was really something to behold. Just the power of it, for one thing, with the wind and everything, but to see everyone coming together and fighting that and getting it out before it really did damage to the town itself. I know there were some homes lost out in the country, and that's a tragedy. But by and large, it's just been messaging, back and forth with people individually, and then on social media as well, to try to get the message out for how to handle the crisis that we're in, and the resources that are coming our way for small business owners and even for individual residents. I myself personally have been in my own business kind of taking it easy, spending more time with family, but every so often get a call that would be considered an essential service, so taking care of those as they come. And I'm grateful for the work that does come my way to keep the bills paid while this crazy time is happening. But and beyond that, trying to not eat all of my quarantine snacks in 1 week. So Donnie continues to be a motivator to stay on the straight and narrow as far as physical fitness. So I'm trying to get some jogging in and push-ups and sit-ups with my little boy. He's my motivator too. So and there's really nothing else that we've been able to get out and do. So that's my report.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Hamby. I too would like to just express my thank yous to everybody. It's been like we said, it's something that we probably, hopefully, will never experience again. But I think everybody coming together and working together on how to resolve or how to get through this. And I like to, I've been watching, probably like most of you, all the news that comes on about the topic. And one of the things from Dr. Fossey, I think that's how he says his name is, that really stuck with me is he said, the virus has no place to go if you have social separation. So that really, if you stay away from people, that's probably the only way that we're going to be able to get ahead of this thing. And it's difficult. I see the people out there. I see people calling. I see people. I think that more of them are coming around now when they see how close it is to our area. Before, I think people were kind of thinking, it's not going to happen to us. It's not going to happen in this area. But Now we see the numbers growing, and I think people are taking this a lot more seriously. And like, we didn't need the fire this past weekend because we are all so concerned about the virus, but it did affect, like Donnie said, a few of us council people out here. So it made us a little nervous, but I was so happy to see how our city fire, our city PD, all the city staff, the city manager, Rosanna, thank you so much for everybody, Public Works, Parks. I think everybody actually came together on this one effort, and they got that under control, because that was a really scary moment for not just us that live in the community, but in that particular area. But it's good to see that we have the staff that come out and take care of something like that in such a good manner that it makes us proud. It makes us proud to be part of this community. And the only other thing I wanted to say is, for the public, I hope they're patient with us with this way of doing our meetings. But if there's anything that they need, all they need to do is get on the either the City of Brawley website for our video meetings, or they can get on the hub of Brawley EOC. I think we're doing a good job. The staff are doing a great job of putting everything on that website. And I also want to commend George and Donnie for the videos that they've organized on the other topics. And I think all of us are willing to cooperate on that end. I've gotten very good feedback from the community. They all have gotten quite a bit out of those presentations that both of you have done. Those of us, I know that Luke, you're probably more techie than those of us that are not as techie, but we can participate in whatever information that we may have to share, in our background. We'd be more than happy to do that. And so with that, I'd like to go ahead and just tell everybody to hang in there, like the president and everybody's saying, we're in this together and we'll get through it. So we'll go ahead and move on, and we are moving on to the city manager report. Rosanna?
Thank you, and thank all of you for your leadership during some really challenging times. I think this last weekend's a reminder of the importance of mutual aid and these relationships that we work hard all the time to build, and the results are something you can only achieve as a group, not as individual agencies. So it was a remarkable effort, and thankfully we were able to achieve an outcome that protected our city limits with the incredible participation of private and public entities. So my thanks to the city of Brawley and our community at large. I do have a single item that has been listed under the city manager report, and it's specifically to seek some staff direction on a topic that is time sensitive. A deadline extension has been received, but in the queue is a request for a letter of support for a planning grant that is being undertaken by both Comité Cívico del Valle and the Air Pollution Control District. This planning grant aims to build on AB 617. It was a piece of legislation that was sponsored by Assemblymember Garcia. And what it did was change or move towards community monitoring of various conditions. So the community-focused program aims to reduce exposure to air pollution and preserve public health. As the council has received updates in prior meetings, community air monitors are dispersed throughout our region. This particular planning effort is looking at a portion of Brawley that has historically had some challenges from an air quality point of view. And at this juncture, we are being asked as a city if we would be willing to submit a letter of support for the planning grant. I do apologize that the letter of support from the Air Pollution Control District was separately transmitted to you after agenda posting. I would be happy to make that available to anybody who wishes to see it. We will be publishing a couple of documents that came in after agenda posting on the hub after tonight's meeting.
Okay, thank you, Rosanna. I think that I had the opportunity to read that, so I feel comfortable with providing direction for you to prepare a letter of support for my signature, and hopefully everybody else feels is in agreement. Everybody okay with that? In
I think
agreement
so.
with?
Yes.
Okay, so you have our direction to go ahead and prepare letters of support, Rosanna.
Thank you, and that's all I have at this time.
Okay. Okay, I think we don't have, as far as I know, we don't have anything from the city attorney at this time. So at this time, we'll go ahead and conclude our meeting and move into our closed session. So thank you all for listening to us today and taking advantage of this video presentation. If you have any feedback on how we can improve our meetings, please let us know. And like I said, everything is posted on our website or on the hub. So thank you again and good evening to everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.